everybody, Mike Westphal here at Mcdonald Garden Center. So before I introduce Carly to you all, I just wanted to kind of take a moment to say hello and just let you know that we're back. We're excited to be back. We've got a lot going on here at the Garden Center. Hope you all have been well. Hope you've been enjoying the fall season. It's been a good one, really. I mean, we've had pretty good weather for the garden. It's been a little bit on the dry side, but we're starting to get some rain now. So we're excited to be able to continue to work in the yard and continue to do gardening throughout the year. Here at the Garden Center, we are obviously decorated for the holiday season. It's an amazing time here at the Garden Center where we transform really the entire place into a winter wonderland. It is absolutely amazing what our staff has done to get the store ready for this upcoming change in season. And to me personally, I always feel like after Halloween, you know, it's time, it's holiday season. We've got Thanksgiving coming up and we've got Christmas coming up. So we couldn't be more excited. So now that we've got some people in the room, I wanted there to be somebody out there watching before I introduce an amazing employee here at the Garden Center. Her name is Carly Dilday. You've probably seen her doing some of the houseplant live tours. She's absolutely phenomenal. She's got a ton of knowledge about houseplants and a lot of other gardening things and Mcdonald Garden Center in general. So she's fairly new, but I'll let Carly introduce herself and tell you a little bit about herself.
Hi everybody, I'm Carly. I've been at the Garden Center for about maybe almost 2 years, so it'll be 2 years in March, I guess. And I love it here. It's so fun to work here. And I've been working in multiple different places here. I work with Mike all the time. And I'm really happy to be here, so thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we're excited to have Carly. It just gives a different perspective. Not that I think you're sick of listening to me yammer on all the time, but Carly is an amazing person, and she's with our marketing team now, and she's just absolutely phenomenal, and just give you a different perspective. And so what we're doing today, before I get too far into that, I'll give you kind of a sneak peek at what we're doing today. Today we're doing a holiday show and tell, so our open house show and tell session, and what we kind of talked about was both of us going out and picking 5 different ideas or groups of products or different things that we love about this 2021 holiday season. And so then we've ranked them. So we've got our own top 5 list. So you're actually going to get to see 10 different things. Surprisingly, we only kind of picked one thing that we kind of shared a little bit, but we'll talk about that as we get into it. It's going to be kind of fun to kind of go through all those different things and for you to get to see a little bit about what's going on here at the Garden Center right now and what you can see when you come and see us this weekend for our holiday open house. Real quick, we'll kind of go through a couple different things that are going on right now. Of course, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this weekend, we've got our holiday open house. We have been working around the clock, literally almost, to get this place transformed, and so you kind of understand how we progress through this holiday season. We've really concentrated our efforts at in our greenhouse spaces with our decorative items. So we're talking about ornaments, trees, wreaths, garlands, candles, lights, you name it, we've got it for your indoor or outdoor spaces. We've also got some holiday plants that are starting to come in. But as the season progresses, and the reason I bring this up is because I want you to come and visit us about, once a week. That's what I suggest. Once a week, because this place changes over the next 6 to 8 weeks. So you got to come and see us weekly to kind of experience it with us. But what we're doing now is kind of talking about everything that deals with your indoor or outdoor decor when it pertains to lights, artificial, lifelike types of items, and we're going to show you a lot of those today. But as the season progresses, we'll start to get poinsettias in, cut trees, fresh greens, live greens, all of those different things that you can use around your home to bring that fragrance into your home. It's just an amazing time of the year. So stick with us and check out our webinar schedule, because that'll kind of guide you through our progression through the season as well. So you'll see, like next week, I'm going to be talking about lighting up your holiday season with lights. I'll show you a couple today, but I'll really get in depth next week into lights. And then we'll be talking about a lot of other things, different ways that you can decorate around your home, how to shape a Lifelike tree. I know a lot of us use these. I love these. And sometimes you pull it out and you're like, oh, this thing looks like a mess. I'm going to show you how to fix that and make it the best looking tree that you can possibly have. And then, and I've got lots of tips and tricks. And then we'll get into a little bit more of the fresh greens. We'll talk about cut trees. We'll talk about, we've got Green Friday. We like to call it Green Friday here instead of Black Friday. And then we'll go into fresh cut greens and a lot of different things. So check out our webinar schedule. And then I think we've got some workshops that are going to get up on the website soon. So Carly, I can let you show kind of the sample that y'all made the other day. So this is a little hanging terrarium with succulents and a little bit of berry. And so we'll be doing some workshops as well coming up here. So as we kind of get back to normal, we can kind of start to do a lot of these fun activities inside the store. So we're really, really excited. Carly, is there anything that you can think of that I missed?
No, I think you got most of it. And our workshops, we're going to have multiple different workshops. So it won't just be the terrarium workshop. We'll also have a wreath making workshop and probably another one for kids. So keep an eye out on Facebook and the website for all updates on workshops and Mike's seminars and any events we have going on the holiday season.
It's going to be a fun time. I've taken a couple weeks off, so let me knock off the rust and get going with this this fun time of the year. It's one of my favorite times of the year to be able to decorate and kind of shift gears a little bit. We'll still talk about plants. We've got tons of plants. You can still garden. If you've got any questions or any comments throughout this webinar, please feel free to ask them as we go through. We love to know where you're watching from. We'd love to say hello. And of course, if you've got any questions, feel free to answer. I'm just going to scroll and make sure that we're getting. So yep, we got Richard says hello everyone. So it looks like our comment section is a little bit lower, so we'll try and keep an eye on that. If we don't get to your question or comment, at the end we'll go back and scroll through and look at everything and get back to you. So feel free to fire away as we go through this. But we're going to have fun, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Cool. So today we are doing our open house, holiday open house show and tell. This is going to be a lot of fun. We've gone around the store, we've been helping decorate, we've been working in the store, we've been working in the background, and we've been, very, very involved, and we've got a lot of hands-on ideas that will help you decorate for the holiday season. It is here, it's official, so it's time to start thinking about Christmas and Thanksgiving and all the different things that you want to do. I know my kids the other day said, let's put up the Christmas tree, which, I'm still putting up trees here, so I was like, give me a week and we'll get to it. But I know everybody's itching to start decorating for the holiday season. This should be a great year for it, and we've got a lot of cool new ideas and new trends. We always do around 12 to 15 themes. I think we've got 15 themes this year. So whether you're doing coastal or a magnolia look or anything that you can think of, we've got themes that will help inspire your ideas for decorating inside your home. And so what we did was we said, let's go around and find 5 of our favorite items for this year. And some of them might be repeats, some of them are my favorites that have always been my favorites, and I'll explain a little bit more as we get into them. But that's kind of what we did. We walked through, we said, what do we love to use to decorate, and what do we see that inspires us, and we want to show and tell all about it. And so that's how we're going to go through it. So I guess I'll go ahead and start. We're going to rank these. We've ranked these from 5 to 1. So you'll get 10 items basically. My 5 through 1 and Carly's 5 through 1. And we'll have a lot of fun going through all of these different items. So my number 5 item is ribbon. So doesn't sound super exciting, right? But ribbon is absolutely amazing. And I've got a lot of different samples here. So I'm going to pull all these out so that I can show and tell all about ribbon and how you can use it. And you'll see me use this in some of my webinars. I'll actually show you how to make a bow. Of course, I think that's what we think of when we think of ribbon, is making a bow, putting it on a wreath or on a garland or at the end of a banister. But there's so many different things that you can do with ribbon. And you can mix it into a tablescape, you can put it in your tree, you can do so many different things with it. I love just the simple hanging a wreath with the ribbon, using it as your door hanger or your window hanger. It's just so simple, and we've got a huge collection. I mean, I just grabbed this one so you can see a lot of our ribbon is going to be wired, and wiring really helps you to be able to form it and shape it. So if you're looking for a ribbon that you can kind of weave in and out, that's my biggest tip, is always make sure it's got a wired edge. And what that means is it's got wire literally stitched into the edge of it, and that allows you to bend it and manipulate it and change it. And I'm not going to make a bow today, but I can make a bow. Carly can make a bow. A lot of us here can make a bow. and it's a lot of fun. It's really, really easy. So there's a lot of different styles that you can use to mix into any kind of theme. This is a white one. This is a plaid, so this really kind of pretty plaid. It's a little different because it's got some blue in it. It's got some lime green, a little bit of black, white. It's a really cool one. This one's really glitzy, so you can see the different sizes as well, so you can get different thicknesses. So you got lots of different choices. We also do custom bows here, and that is really important. So if you're like, I don't have time, I don't want to mess with a bow, you can come in, pick out the ribbon that you like, tell us how big of a bow you want, how many loops you want on it, whatever it might be, how many you need. And if it's a quick one, like a single bow, we can usually do that right there on the spot. If you've got an order where you need like 10 to 15 or 20 of them, you might give us a day and we'll get them done for you. But there's a lot of choices here. And like I mentioned, to mix into any decor, this is amazing. I don't know if you can quite see that on the camera, but this one is coral. So this one's got actually a little beaded coral, emblem into it. There you go, a little bit better angle there. But this is really neat. So if you're doing a coastal theme, you could wrap this into your tree, you could tie it onto a wreath, you could make a bow out of it, you could make a tree topper bow, and we can make those for you. So, if you've got any questions about ribbon, we are the ribbon experts. I always tell people we've been in Hampton Roads for 75 years, and it is amazing what our staff has learned over these years and what they teach me every day. So this is a great opportunity for you to come in, check out our ribbon selection early. I always tell people to shop early, especially this year. I think everybody's been hearing it out there, is get out there and start shopping early. And so come in and get it, because once it's gone, it's gone. And so we hope to see you this weekend for the open house, and check out our ribbon selection. It is absolutely amazing. That's my number 5. Yes. So now I'll hand it over to Carly for her 5.
Yay! Well, and another great thing to say about ribbon is we have most of our trees here decorated with ribbons already. So if you have something that you like that's already on our display trees, our staff is really happy to help you figure out how to make that work on your tree, or even make one for you. So like Mike said, ribbon is definitely a specialty here at the Garden Center. So for my number 5, I chose containers. So our deco buyer bought some really cute stuff this year that I was just crazy about. So I picked out a couple from this theme that we have. These are galvanized containers with the little tree line on them. You can kind of see it. Hopefully I can get the light right there. But they're all a matching set, so that's probably the best part for me. I like it when things match. That's just kind of how I am. But they all kind of have different shapes and sizes too, which helps. I think I have one more. Yep, I even put a plant in it for you guys to kind of see. You could even pop your own house plants that you already have in your house. You do not have to get, your favorite holiday plants, but that's also a really great idea. I mean, how great would a really big poinsettia look in this pot right here? But they have just a really great texture. I love the wood color as well, especially on the sticks of this one holding it up. And they all kind of just have a really good vibe. I think they could go with multiple themes that we carry. And they also have liners in each of the pots, you can kind of see here, that fit the pot. So you could either directly plant into this container, and our staff could also help you with that in houseplants. Our houseplant help desk is great for that kind of potting up situation, or you could even faux pot your plants into these containers because they don't have holes in them. That's also a really great idea to make sure you have good drainage for your houseplants or just any plants you want to put in these pots. And that's why I really like them. They're just really versatile. You can have multiple, you can get different sizes, and I think that just is a really great addition to anybody's Christmas collection this year. These are part of our, I think, Christmas tree farm collection, but they actually can go with multiple, and I kind of set them next to multiple just to make sure, and they totally look cute with everything. So definitely a great one for me, and that's my number 5.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, the pots are amazing here. Our buyer just does a great job, and there's a huge collection, whether it's galvanized metal or ceramic or plastic, and there's just so many choices. And I love to go around my house and change out all my pots, and you just drop a philodendron into, or any other green plant, a pothos, just pop it right into a holiday planter, and you've got yourself a nice looking decor piece for your home. So great choice. I love this little kind of almost ornament that you get on this one too. So great selection there from Carly. So my number 4, we're gonna go to lights. I think I've got a fair amount of lights on my list. I love to light up the holidays, and it's one of my favorite things. And you're gonna see me use these throughout the webinars through the rest of the season. But one thing that really hit a home run for us last year that we brought back in a big way is the pole stars. And you might say, pole stars, what's that? Well, this is a pole star. Looks like not a whole lot, right? Now, this is a plug-in one. I've got lots of different sizes, but I want to show you how to build this and how you can do it in 100 different ways, probably. But these are absolutely amazing. They have this little twinkle function, and you can't quite see it yet, but it's just a metal lined, or I guess it's say almost looks like foil, lined wire that basically is flexible. And so all you got to do is just pull these out, and you can make a starburst with them. And you can shape them in any different way. You could make them wavy if you wanted to. You can do so many different things with them. But I like to just pull out a kind of a row all the way around the bottom, and then just kind of do another kind of slightly higher row. Really simple, real easy. You can't mess it up, and it's all flexible, so if you need to move it, you can move it later. So if you mess something up, you can always go back and fix it. It's basically like an artificial or a lifelike wreath or garland. You know, it's got that same kind of feel to it, and look at that. And I can bend these all the way back and make it a round ball. I can do it just halfway. I can put it into a tree. Look at that. Amazing in a tree. You can use these. It's got this great little hook on the bottom too, so you can hang it. I think these would be great hanging from a tree. If you got like a 15, 20 foot or 15, 20 foot tall Japanese maple or crepe myrtle that has lost all its leaves, as they will pretty soon, you can go and hang a bunch of these throughout the tree. It's absolutely amazing. It comes with a really long cord too, which is why I really like them. So just so I don't get it wrong, I want to say it's about 16 feet, but let me just check and see. So yeah, 16.5 feet of extra cord that you can use to plug in. So you can take this and wrap it around branches and bring it back down and plug in a bunch into a power strip. So really, really cool. These are called pole stars. We've got a couple different styles or a couple different sizes. They all have this kind of twinkling function, so I think you can see that if I hold it steady for a second. A little bit of twinkle in there, so about every other light bulb here kind of does this little twinkle thing. Can't really change it, there's no functions or anything. That actually makes it simple, so you can just hang it and forget it and never have to worry about it. But this one is the 1.5 size. So this one is a 1.5 size, which means it's about 1.5 feet across from tip to tip. And then I've got a slightly bigger one. This one is 2.3 feet long, so you can see almost like you can fold this in half, so it's going to be 2.3 feet long. So that's a nice one, big one. And then we've got the monster. This guy's really, really big. This one is 3.3 feet long. So huge, huge way of showing lights. And the light count, I forgot about that. These are 72 lights. The slightly bigger one is 160 LEDs. And then this one is 280 LEDs. So really, really cool pole stars made by Lumineo. They're absolutely amazing. And then, of course, my bread and butter, my favorite, is the little mini guy. And the reason this is my favorite is because he's battery operated. And you might say, oh, I hate buying tons of batteries. They last about, I'd say 20 to 30 days, somewhere in that range. So not bad. I mean, you're getting a good amount of time. So if you go to decorate your home right after the holidays outside, and that's typically where a lot of us are going to use this one, it's really easy because you can pop the batteries in. You set it on a timer. So what I do is get all of them lined up. Let's say, I think I did them on the Japanese maple lot in front of the store here at Independence and in a tree over at Great Neck. What I did was basically line them all up, and at about 5 o'clock, I go out there and I hit the timer function on the button. So it comes with a battery pack inside. It's got 3 buttons. You can turn it on. It's going to be steady on. It's only going to last about 2 days, probably, just constantly burning. But if you put it on the timer function, it'll be 6 hours on. So if you set it for 5 o'clock, it'll go off at 11 p.m., and then it comes on every single time at the same day, or the same time every single day. So what you can do is you can take 10 of these, line them all up, press all the buttons at one time, and then stick them up in your tree, and you can set it and forget it, and you're done. That's why I love these. This one has 60 LEDs. It is 1.5 feet. So really, really cool option, battery operated, and then the other bigger ones are all plug-in. These are awesome. This is my number 4, Pole Stars by Lumineo. Gotta come in and check them out.
Yeah, those are super cool. I think that idea of having them hang from one of your outdoor trees is a really good idea, because having that kind of decoration outside is just as important as indoors. Right. So great pick, Mike. My next pick, my number 4, is Wreaths and Garlands. How could we not have Wreaths and Garlands at Christmas? That's one of my absolute all-time favorite things to decorate with. We have this really beautiful one up here, but I have some to pull up from the ground here. Here's one that Mike helped me pick out, but it's a really, really gorgeous, humongous garland. This would be a really good one for a banister, staircase. This one also lights up, so that's another really great thing. I love pre-lit garlands. It makes it a whole lot easier, especially when you're lining a staircase. You don't have to also line it with lights right afterwards. My mom made me do that every year for a couple of years, so that was pretty hard, but it's really great when you can get pre-lit ones. And this one comes with these really beautiful like white pine cone elements in here, some juniper berries and other really interesting kind of sprig textures. And this one's a super full, really beautiful. I think this one is about, I think, a 9 or 14.
Yeah, 9 feet, and then they're about 14 inches from here to here. So
okay.
If you really like spread this thing out, you can get 14 inches of coverage.
So that's a really, really big garland, and that's really great if you want to fill up a lot of space. So that's a super awesome choice for us. And I also have some more simple garlands back here. We have this little guy, which are really great if you have a kind of a smaller space. I think that's important for people who either like live in apartments or even don't have staircases and just kind of want to line their doorways. Simple garlands are really good for those kind of things. This one's really beautiful. It has a really simple texture, has tiny little pine cones in it. You can kind of see that one right there. And this one I think would be really great to line, like, again, a doorway would be really beautiful. Even if you had like a little window opening in your kitchen, that would be really cute to hang this up. And I have some more like that, but frosted. So another really great one. A frosted, very similar, does not have pine cones on it, so if you really like pine cones. But you could also always add things to garland, and I won't say too much because that's one of Mike's picks, but adding things to garlands is really fun too, and can be kind of an activity you can involve your whole family in. So simple garlands are really fun if you want to kind of give it your own touch and add multiple things to a garland. I also have this one back here, which is my personal favorite one that we have, and it's this really gorgeous fruit-themed garland, which I think are kind of underrated for Christmas time. My parents always put nuts and oranges in my stocking every Christmas, and so this kind of reminds me of them. We have some like walnut elements, faux oranges, some cranberries in there, and of course pine cones as well. So if you kind of are going for that more colorful, almost Williamsburg Christmas, this is a really great garland for that. Of course, this one is just not lit either, but you could always add lights to it, and Mike also has some great micro LED lights that would be really beautiful on this garland. So that's another really great choice. And then of course wreaths. So wreaths can go anywhere, especially lifelike wreaths, indoor, outdoor, anywhere you want them to go. I kind of put them everywhere in my house. I have one hanging outside, I have one on the inside of the door. I think they're just a really great thing to add to your space. Just liven up a wall, or even replace something that has already been living there all year, like a mirror or a picture you have up most of the year, and then you hang a wreath and it's immediately Christmas. So my favorite wreath that we have right now for this year is this gorgeous juniper berry and pine cone wreath. We can see that I picked out a lot of pine cones. I like pine cones for Christmas because it makes it even more lifelike. But this is a gorgeous wreath that we had our buyer picked out this year. Love this one. This one is about 26.5 inches. So this is perfect for an average door. And I just think the juniper berries really bring out a gorgeous color in it. It really makes it look like fresh greens. And of course, you don't just have to have ones that already have pre-made stuff on it. If you don't like pine cones, you can always we have multiple sizes of just plain lifelike wreaths. And this one's about 30 inches, so this guy's a little bit bigger. And I hadn't even pulled all the sprigs out all the way, so this can get even bigger than it looks right now. And we have even larger ones, I think up to like
60 inches.
60 inches. They're huge. I didn't even bring that one in here because it would take up the whole screen. But and you can also add things to these. I love making my own wreaths. It's part of my little holiday tradition for myself. And it's a good craft that you can involve your kids with, or even your family. And you can kind of bring everybody together to make a really beautiful wreath. So we have lots of different choices here at the garden center, and like I said, we also have pre-lit wreaths, just like your garlands that are pre-lit. It might be easier for you to have a little bit of glitter already involved in your wreath, and these already are battery operated, so kind of how was Mike saying, you can have them in there, pop it on, and it turns on. So it's really great. And that's my number 4.
Awesome. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, wreaths and garlands are amazing. There's so many different things you can do with them. I will talk about them extensively probably throughout my webinars. Making tablescapes. I love those smaller little pieces of garland. Love the big ones for banisters over doorways and stuff like that, but the little ones are just so quaint and nice to use all around the home. And even that orange one, like that kind of Williamsburg, that traditional look, actually works for Thanksgiving. So if you want to start decorating for the holiday season, and then kind of let it transition right through Thanksgiving, then it works out perfectly. So great choice. Love wreaths, love garlands, pre-lit or not, you can always add stuff to them, which is why I said earlier that we had a couple that kind of were pretty close. So we actually both picked wreaths and garlands and picks. So I took picks from her, and I said, picks are going to be mine. So picks are awesome, and we have a huge collection. You can find them all kind of usually centrally located, but they're also in and used throughout all of our themes. So if you're looking for some sort of style in a pick, then definitely search around, ask us questions. We can help you find anything that you need here. But I love them because there's so many different uses for them. I think they're just cool by themselves, laying next to a candle, putting them in a slightly sparser garland or in a wreath that you want to make your own. You can use these around the home. You can use them inside, outside. Almost all of them will do fine on a covered porch. If you put them outside, they do have metal in them, and so they can rust over time if they get too wet. But a covered porch, you can be perfectly fine. These are awesome, and there's so many different looks. So instead of going through all the different things, I want to just show you the selection that I picked, because I've probably got 15 of them here, just to show you that we can match any kind of theme or decor look that you're going for. This one is just a simple kind of pine with little tiny pine cones in it. Really nice little simple one. And then I absolutely love these pine cones. They look so realistic. I know they might look a little different on camera, but they are so realistic, and they're like flexible. It's like this really cool, basically a molded metal, molded plastic, but it's really soft texture, and it's movable, and they just look so realistic, like a little light frost is on them. Really nice one. And then of course, can't have the holiday season without some red berries. This is just a great little one. Lots and lots of different types of berries. I know a lot of people get worried about berries popping when it freezes. It typically doesn't happen too much in our area, but if you get the harder berries, they typically never will. But if you get the ones that have the little foam in it, you might be a little bit more careful about using these outside. But inside, they're absolutely amazing, and they're lightweight. That's why I love the foam berries, because they're lightweight, and so I can use them heavily. They show up really well, and they're all flexible and movable, so I can do lots of different things with them. So I love the red berries. And then of course we've got our picks that are mixed already for you. So this one's got a little poinsettia, some red berries, magnolia, cedar. Looks really good together. So just another way of saying, hey, you could pop this in a vase, or you could use it on a tablescape, and it would look amazing. And it's kind of halfway done for you, so you don't have to mix a bunch of them. Then we've also got some jingle bells, some red bells on a branch. Really cool, kind of a lot of fun for the kids, but also great. You can use these in trees to decorate with, so you can stick them into trees. You can do so many different things with them, but that's another pretty one. So if you're looking for kind of a red theme, if maybe you do kind of the gold glitzy theme, I love this one. This one's really shiny and bright and glittery with that gold, but it's kind of a fern leaf is basically what it is, and really pretty. You can sprawl that out. You can use this. This looks amazing in a tree or a tablescape. Awesome one. Wreaths, garlands, anything that you want to use it for. Here's another one that's already kind of pre-mixed for you. Got a little eucalyptus in it, a little bit of fir, a little Fraser fir in there, a little cedar, a little pine, and a pine cone. So another nice mixed one that's already done for you. This is kind of a cool little collection here that I grabbed, because if you're looking for that kind of frosty blue color, this one's got frosted ornaments. So this one's got a little blue kind of silvery blue ornament balls on there, but then they've been frosted with a little bit of glitter and snow, so that's a nice little one. And then they've also got the blue kind of juniper berry look with a little bit of pine cone in there, a little bit of snow on top. So again, we can match your theme, we can match your look. A couple other ones I'll get through here. Here's a snowy white one. A little white birch branch with little tiny pockets of red berries and lots of clusters of snow all over it. It's a nice one. And this one I absolutely love. I absolutely love this cedar. If you ever are looking for a nice cedar, feel it, because it almost feels real. And here, I'll pull this other one out because this is a nice one too. So we've got two cedar picks. This one's just regular, you know, almost probably just right after an arborvitae or any kind of leyland cypress or cedar, but really, really nice. It's got a great feel to it, and it looks realistic. I mean, if I pulled this out, if I cut this off a tree, you'd probably think it was real. That's how realistic it is, and it feels real, and I just love these, and these last a long time. I have a wreath made out of this same kind of texture. I've had it for probably 15 years. It is absolutely amazing. Comes out every year and looks just perfect. And then here's one with red berries mixed into it. I'm going to keep on running through this. Here's a little bit of glittery kind of pine with a little bit of pine cone all over it. So again, really cool ways to decorate. This one's absolutely fabulous. This is new, I think, this year. This one's got that great feel to it as well. Almost has that kind of fern look, but you can almost shape this, and you got lots of branches and tips to work with. So putting this in a tree would be absolutely amazing. If you have a green tree and you bought like 10 of these and just popped them all over your tree would look like it's got a little frosting on it. Mixes right in. So really, really cool. Lots and lots of things that you can do with picks, and we've got a humongous selection. That is probably, I don't know, 20%, 30% of what we actually carry. So you can come in, pick out a ton of different selection to match any kind of decor that you're working with for your holiday season, or to make something new for this 2021 year. So hope you enjoyed that. That's our number 3. Before I go to Carly's number 3, I do want to take one quick little break and just check and see if there's any questions, because of our comment section is a little bit further down, so we can't quite see it while we're kind of talking here. So we'll just go through this real quick. Jordy said, watching from Chesapeake. Hello, Jordy. Julie said, watching from Virginia Beach. Hello, Julia, or Julie. And then Harriet is watching from Hampton. Hello. And then Patricia is watching from my car. Uh-oh. Pay attention to the road. But also you can listen to us. And then Catherine is watching from Chesapeake. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you all are watching and enjoying. And that's my number 3. What's your number 3, Carly?
Okay, great. Well, I have some things that light up. Mike has plenty of things that light up later, but I have a couple things that aren't necessarily noticeable when you come into our store and you see all this stuff that we have. It's just really amazing, but I pulled a couple things that really caught my eye. We have a couple of these kind of clear plastic candle holders, and I have a couple different kinds here. We have a tree, and we have a little church. But the best part about all of these is that they light up. So, and not only do they light up, but they also have sparkles, and it's really hard to see on camera, unfortunately, because it is so bright. But if you come into the store, you'll definitely see that this is a total glitter bomb in this little church here. And the same goes for the candlestick and the tree. So if you really like these kind of lighted elements in your home, which I definitely do, I think they add a really nice thing to that like dark corner that doesn't have the Christmas tree in it, that doesn't have the mantle in it, that doesn't, you know, that one that's really hard to figure out. These are really great to set on like a table, a barscape, a tablescape, something to decorate, at least for a little while you have guests over. So I thought these were really great elements that our buyer got this year. Something to mention. That's not the only thing though that I pulled out for this, my little number 4. I'm kind of, or I guess that's my number 3, kind of cheating a little bit, but Mike is carrying these awesome little bottle trees, and they were around last year as well, but we got lots of different little colors. This one's kind of a snowy one. The one I just held up is more of like a silver sparkle. And then we have one that doesn't have any snow on it. It's just a green one. And they come in multiple different sizes, as you can see. But the best part is that they light up as well. And I really love those little lighty elements, like I've said. But I think, if you have these with even if it's a tablescape, or even like I have them on a bookshelf with a couple of my like favorite, holiday, I guess, mementos that you have out, the picture frames, the snow globe, these are really great accents to kind of have with those things. The things that people may not notice immediately, but are really great touches in your home. These are really great things to add to those accents. And I think they're really great to mention because I think people forget about those moments and they need to be noticed just like any of the other bigger ticket items, just like the Christmas tree or your wreath on your front door. So that's my small number 3, but it's important.
I love little light up items. I love bottle brush trees. They are back. I mean, I think I remember those in my grandmother's house back in the day when I was a kid. But I love bottle brush trees, and we have them in like every theme this year, it seems like. I've got them on wreaths, we've got them on tablescapes, already kind of pre-built, kind of like you can put it up on your mantelpiece. I think mixing them is cool. I think adding a bunch, or like you said, just in a little spot, maybe in your bathroom or in a little bit of, your workspace or at your office. If you just, take a couple of them, you got a little tree for your office, they light up, and they're just awesome. They're so easy. Great choice. I love all of these. These things are so cool. These have become very, very popular here at the store. They have a fan inside, so it looks like a snow globe, but it almost, to me, looks like it's a thicker formula than water in there because it kind of moves slowly. It's not swashy. It doesn't move all around. It's really, really cool. Love these. So if you can, let me see if I turn it off, you can see the glitter in there. Oh yeah, there you go.
Just a little bit,
so you see how it's moving? So that's what's happening. I know you can't quite see it there, but when I turn it off, you can see it's all going around. And basically, there's a fan in there and just blows it up, so you don't have to shake it up or anything. Really, really cool. Good choice.
Thanks.
All right, so number 2 for me is my Simplex Candles. Love these Simplex Candles. So I will pull these out for you and show you. This is what they look like. So Simplex Candles, and I know it's going to be hard to kind of see it at all, but you can just see that wick at the top kind of moving around up there. So we've all heard of virtual candles, right? We all know virtual candles. Well, as Carly's kind of been subtly mentioning, and most of you probably know, I am a buyer here at Mcdonald Garden Center, so I go out and hunt down these items. This is one of my favorite stories because virtual candles were very, very popular and still are. But about, I'm going to date myself here, but probably at least 7 or 8, maybe even 10 years ago, we lost a great supplier for us. And so when I went to a big, huge show in Atlanta where I go find all of these great holiday items, my goal that year was to find the perfect candle. And there's so many different ones out there. And what I realized was they're basically all the same. They were all basically the exact same thing. They all had a light that shined out of, this is real wax. They all had real wax candles and they all had lights in them and they all looked pretty nice. But what I noticed was 95% of them, pretty much all of them except for this one, has a white kind of flapper that just sits there. And there's a fan, or it works off polarity. I'll explain that in a minute. But it basically just had this white thing, and the light shined up on it, and it made it look like a flame. The problem is when you turned it to the side, you couldn't see it anymore. And so it really kind of lost its look. So you had to position them perfectly. If you were using them in an area like on a tablescape or somewhere out in the open that you were actually walking all the way around, you'd lose that candle look. And so this one is what caught my eye. And it's called Simplex Candles, and it's got a 360-degree wick. And I know you probably can't quite see it on the camera, but if I turn this, you'll be able to see the wick the exact same all the way around. It's actually got the LED light built into the wick, so it's not shining up from below. And it got a blue hue at the bottom, and then it goes to a warm white at the top, so it looks like a real flame. So it's not just a virtual flame candle anymore. This is like as good as the real thing. Really, really cool. It works off the polarity, so you don't have to worry about a fan. The fan's sometimes broke, and your wick would stop moving. Your flame would stop moving. And so it works off of the north and south pole, which means it'll always move. It's got an irregular motion, and it's just really, really cool. Real wax, and we've got tons of different styles. Before I get into that, there's also a remote, which makes this really, really cool because I can turn it off and on with this remote. And did I mention styles? We've got lots of different styles. This one is the birch. So this one's actually got like a real birch candle look to it, and you can just turn it on and off with that. You can also set your timer by the remote. So it's got a 2, 4, 6, 8, and 8-hour timer. It's also got a candle mode or just a light mode. So if you don't really like that flicker, maybe it's closer to where you're sitting at night, you can just hit light mode and it stops flickering. It's just a single light, and then you can hit candle and it goes back to actually doing more of the candle kind of, phasing in and out. You can actually dim them down and you can brighten them up. So with this little remote right here, that is a great deal. Then you can change and move your candles however you want. And what I love about it is if you're putting a candle like in a big glass vase or a bowl or something, and you don't want to pick it up, turn it off, and then turn it back on and put it back in, you can just use your remote. I have them all over my mantle, and I keep them up there year round, and then just whenever I'm having people over, I can just flick them all on real quick, and then I can turn them off at the end of the night. I can set the timer if I want to. Really, really easy. Come in lots of different styles. So I've got the dripping candle, I've got a melted one, I've got the birch, I've got larger sizes, so all of them come in usually multiple sizes. Love this green one. I'll pull this one out for you real quick just so you can see the color. Really kind of a fresh green, really pretty green. And that's just a basic pillar candle. And then I've got red, just a really basic red candle. And then I've got tapers, so you can even get tapers as well. So you get a 2-pack here, works with the remote, so you can set these up, and you've got that virtual candle that'll never melt down. Really, really nice one. And then they come in squares as well as round. Love this one. This one's really cool. So great for if you just need to eat up some space in the center of a table, something like that. You're looking for something different and unusual. This one's a really, really popular one. And with candles, I had to kind of throw in a little bit of an honorable mention. Something that's a little bit more fun, a little bit more kind of for the kids maybe. This is not a real candle at all. It kind of looks like a candle. It's got a picture of a snowman on it. We've got other ones that are Santa and more of kind of like a silvery snowflake. But what's cool about this one is it's a projector. So as you can see back here, yep, you can see it. So this projects images on the ceiling of wherever you put it. So wherever you put this, it'll shine up on the ceiling, this little spinning image. So those things that people use out in their front yards to shine laser lights all over their house? Similar kind of idea, but this you can do right in your home. So great for a kid's bedroom, guest bedroom, or just if you love that kind of fun traditional look, then this one's really nice. There also comes, this one has snowflakes on it, and it's more of a snowflake, snowman. It says let it snow, that images around it. And this one's Santa, and it's got a bow, a candy cane, a present, and an ornament that's spin around. So really, really cool, lots of fun. It's not Simplex, it's not a virtual candle, but I thought it was interesting and fun and something new that maybe you haven't seen before. So those are my candles. That's my number 2. Light up your holiday season. And now, Carly, what's your number 2?
That was really good. Yes, I love Simplex candles as well. But my number 2 is, now we're getting into one of the highlights of our open house holiday extravaganza, is ornaments. We have ornaments everywhere in the store right now, on every tree. We have themed ornaments, but we also carry very specific ornaments every year that we're known to carry around here. And I was going to start my number 2 with Old World ornaments. And these are really fun ornaments, and I'll show you each one. I'll stand up here. But Old World ornaments are handmade glass ornaments. You can kind of see, this guy is a tiny espresso machine. They come as little tiny, I guess, strange things usually. That's what I really like them. This is a pickle jar. I have a pair of Birkenstocks here, and there are all kinds of different ones. There's animals, sport themes. There's a class of 2021. I have a toaster here with a toast in it, a bottle of ranch. There's a toilet paper roll. I mean, it's pretty much anything that you want it to be, and that's kind of the best part about them. And they have that kind of traditional look. This is avocado toast with little sparkles on it, and then obviously the little avocados on there. But I think Old World ornaments are really great. They're handmade glass ornaments. They are really beautiful. They have that kind of traditional look. So if you really like that kind of older traditional Christmas, Christmas with Grandma kind of vibe, these are really great ornaments for that kind of tree. Of course, you could just get your favorite one for if the avocado toast reminds you of your sister, like it does mine. Then you could just give it as a really great gift. And I think that's another really big catch to the old world ornaments is they usually remind you of somebody, and it's pretty fun to give them as gifts for people. And something else that I think that people don't really notice about the old world ornaments is that they each have little descriptions on their tags, and a lot of them have facts about whatever the thing is. For example, the toaster one tells you about how toasters were made, and when toasters originated, and why they're kind of cool. And so that kind of adds to that old world element, I guess, where you kind of look into the past and see why these things might be important to somebody. And for avocado toast, it just kind of tells you about what avocado toast is. So I think that's really fun, especially if you're giving it as a gift, and it kind of adds that really extra special something that you might need this holiday season. So these are really beautiful, great ornaments, and there's lots to choose from. We have an entire wall filled with these old world ornaments at both of our year-round locations.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's my number 2.
I love ornaments. You can use them everywhere. You can do so many different things with them. And she's right. Ornaments tell a story. I mean, not every single one does. I mean, I think everybody's got the tree that has the collection of ornaments on it. I mean, you might do a theme tree. I think we've got almost 3 or 4 trees now. But your family, your traditional tree typically has a collection that you picked up over the many, many years. And that's what I love about Christmas is pulling out, talking about the stories of, you know, all the different reasons that you have these ornaments. And you're right, ornaments remind us of somebody or something in our lives, and that's what holidays are about, is remembering people and being thankful for what we have. And so I love ornaments. Huge collection here. I think for sure the biggest collection in Hampton Roads, so you got to come and check them out. Always a great thing for the open house weekend is coming to see our new ornament collection. All right, awesome. So Invisilights is my number 1. You probably heard me talk about them for a long time. Invisilights are my all-time favorite light string because you can just use them about anywhere. And they're so easy to use. And so if you don't know what an Invisilight is, it goes by probably 50 different names by now. We've always hung on to the Invisilight name because I think that's what it originally was designed to do, was basically be invisible. Not the light, the wire. And so that's why we kept the name. You probably also heard fairy lights or micro LED. There's lots and lots of different names for them. These even say starry lights on the package. We like to internally in the garden center call them Invisilights because they are basically invisible. And so really what we're talking about is the green wire. And that's originally what they came out with, was just the original green wire. That's what this one is. I put batteries in this so you can see them light up, so you can see how pretty they are. But what I want to show you real quick is how easy they just disappear. So let me grab my favorite little pick here, this cedar pick, and you can just see there's the wire. You can barely see it on your screen, and then when I put it up into the greenery, it just disappears. And so you can wrap these into greenery, and it looks like the lights are literally built into the branches. They're just absolutely amazing. So you can use them for so many different things. A garland, a wreath on your front door, your tree if you want to add some different lights to it. So many different options. We've got some that are connectable. We've got a lot that are battery operated. I love these battery operated ones, especially for, you know, a little Norfolk Island pine or your poinsettia. We've got different ones that you can use in so many different forms and fashion. Love these lights. They're actually water safe. You don't want to put this in the water, but a lot of florists will use this down into the vase, and you can put this right into water, so they're outdoor safe. This one is outdoor safe. You can always tell by the battery pack. If it's a clear kind of plastic battery pack, then it's not going to be outdoor safe. You can put it in a covered porch or some area that's a little bit protected, but these that have the actual locks on the side and it's got a rubber kind of lining around the edge, those you know are going to be outdoor safe. They come with a built-in timer. So click it one time, it's on. Click it twice, it's on your timer. I think it's 8 hours, I can never remember. Some of them are 6 hours, some of them are 8 hours. I can never really remember which is which. It is a 6 hour, which I like. 6 hours, plenty of time. Set it at 5 o'clock, it's off by 11 p.m. Perfect. So you can put this on a wreath on the front door. You can lock this in. It's got a little loop on the back here so you can tie it right into your wreath. Super, super easy. One of my favorites. Now, again, dating myself here, but probably about I don't know, about 10 to 12 years ago, so it's been a long time since we've been carrying it, they started coming out with different wire colors. So copper and silver. So now you've got green wire and then you've got copper and silver, which you can show off. Sometimes they'll hide in, so like the copper will kind of mold or mesh in with like a magnolia theme. You don't really see the wire as much. The silver really looks great on frosted, so any kind of like flocked, light flocked, heavy flocked decorations that you're working with, these kind of disappear. But if you're trying to show off the wire, I think that's fun too. So they come in silver and copper as well. And they come in so many different styles as well. This is another one of my favorites. This is a plug-in, but I carry this in a smaller one that is actually battery operated. And these I absolutely love to use in poinsettias or just around the home. And so what this is made by Lumineo again, one of my favorites. This is 160 LEDs on 3.4 feet. So you're probably saying, how's that possible? Well, it's all right here. So what this is 3.4 feet, but divide that time, multiples of about 8 strands. So about 8 to 10 strands in here. And so you get this kind of explosion of light. So I've got a smaller one that's probably about, I'd say about this big. And so you can put this into the center of a plant and you can just let them explode out. These look great in lanterns. They look great on the mantelpiece. You can hang them in a window. You can make it a curtain light. You can use it behind a sheer curtain. So many different uses for these. You'll see us use a lot of these around the store. We absolutely love them. We've got a big one that's like 640 lights. That's really, really cool. Now we even have them for your tree. So if you do a cut tree or you want to add lights to a Lifelike tree, then it's actually got a loop that goes over the top, and they're designed for a 7.5 to 8 foot tall tree. Put the loop over the top of the top branch, and then you've got all these strands to use that just drape down the tree. They're really, really cool. I don't even like to work them in. I just like to let them drape and kind of look like a veil over top of the tree. But these are one of my favorites. This I call an Invisalite bunch, where you got all of these lines coming from one point. It's actually got this little black holder here that's got a little loop in it, so you can attach it to something if you need to. Really nice long cord, so I can run it all the way to an electrical outlet if I need to. But this is one of my favorites. I love Invisalites. I can use them in so many different ways. I mentioned my webinar next week on lighting up your holidays. I guarantee you're going to see these in there because it's absolutely one of my favorite lights. We've been carrying it for years and years, and the selection gets better and better each year. You will love them. Now, do they tangle? Are they sometimes a bear to work with? Yes. But there's nothing better than a holidays than grabbing a little cup of eggnog, maybe spice it up adult style, and sit down and untangle some lights. That's what holidays are all about, is taking those moments and just kind of zenning out for a minute and just kind of untangling some lights, shaping a tree, those kinds of things. That's what make the holiday season. So come in and check out our huge selection of Invisalites this weekend at our open house. That's my number one, and Carly will wrap it up with her number one as well.
Yeah, Invisalites are so great. That's a big highlight here at the Garden Center. People come here asking specifically for our Invisalites all the time. We had a lot of displays even last year, including Invisalites, where people bought the displays. And that was really fun for us on the floor to kind of be able to sell that product right off of our display. So it was really great. So really great choice. My number one, the finale here, is our Mcdonald Garden Center Heirloom Ornaments. And we have been carrying these ornaments for many, many years. I have a selection here, but the big draw about Heirloom Ornaments is that they are locally made and are about local places here in Hampton Roads. I have the Assateague Lighthouse here. I'm a little afraid that it's gonna fall off. That was the display hook. But you can kind of see here, these are hand-painted ornaments, and both sides are always painted for these ornaments. Some are circular, I guess, orb ornaments, ball ornaments too, where they're painted all the way around, but most of them look like this. And they are really gorgeous ornaments. I've bought many for the people that live around here, my family, and each of them also come with a key card or a calling card. You can kind of see. This has words on it, but about the ornament that you are purchasing and what it means and where it's from and why it's related to Hampton Roads. Of course, the Assateague Lighthouse is from Assateague Island. So, and they come in our boxes too. We have multiple different lighthouses. Lighthouses are pretty iconic here around Hampton Roads. We have many of them all over the place. And then we also have a couple like just places that are iconic in Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Hampton, Newport News, Norfolk, all over the place. I have also the Lions Bridge here from Newport News, and I have Canadian geese. So there's also just like little cute things too. There's a couple plant ones. I know there's an orchid one that we've carried for multiple years. I really like the Canadian geese one. We have lots of geese here. Most people don't like geese, but I think they're really cute. But this is a really cute ornament as well. I think the real lure to the heirloom ornaments is that they are both locally artisan made and they are local to us. So I think it's a really unique gift, especially if you're visiting or if you have family coming into town and you want to give them something that is from your home. This is a really, really great gift, and they're forever. They're ornaments. So like we were saying earlier, ornaments remind you the people in your life and the memories that you have with them during the holidays. So an heirloom ornament from our area is a really great one to always remember. A moment by my dad always sails by Thimble Shoals Lighthouse on his sailboat. So I bought him the Thimble Shoals Lighthouse heirloom ornament last year, and he was thrilled. So that's something that you might have a memory with someone with, or even just remember yourself and give the gift to yourself sometimes this Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, you can't forget about yourself.
That's
you know,
right.
self-care, right? So if you just like one of these and you went to Assateague Island on a self-care trip, maybe you should get one for yourself too. So that's my number one.
That's awesome. Yeah, heirloom ornaments were started many years ago. It's probably been at least 15 years now. And the collection, is not forever. So they're in a limited supply. So you definitely want to check those out. And if something speaks to you, you should go ahead and grab it.
Yes.
And a great gift too. I mean, it makes an amazing gift to somebody, as she mentioned, to her father, but also to those family members or friends that maybe have moved away. Of course, we're very, very military-centric here in the Hampton Roads area, and so we'll have our online sales platform, I think, up and going sooner or later. So we should be able to, you should be able to go on our website and check those out. So if you don't live in Hampton Roads anymore, but you want to remember some of those iconic historical sites around Hampton Roads or animals like the geese, then you can definitely go to our website and check those out. But you can also come in for our open house this weekend. It's going to be awesome. We've got a great collection of heirloom ornaments in general, picks, wreaths, garlands, lights, you name it. We've got it this weekend here at Mcdonald Garden Center. It's going to be absolutely awesome. I'm going to check any of the questions and see if there was any that came up. Let's see. All right, so I think we got all of those. So then Deborah said, do you have swags in? I think we have some Lifelike swags, Deborah, so you should be able to come in and check those out. If you're looking for real fresh cut swags, we won't have those until closer to Thanksgiving. Usually they come in just before Thanksgiving. I usually say come in during Green Friday weekend. It's the best time you're going to get the biggest selection of your fresh stuff. So if you're looking for fresh, Deborah, check us back around Black Friday weekend, Green Friday weekend. But if you're looking for artificial, definitely come in and check us out. We should have some in, and we can help you, with any of your needs then. Let's see. And then Deborah said, I'm coming earlier this year. I love the display items last year. Well, thank you, Deborah. That's very nice to hear. We work very, very hard on these amazing displays, and we've got a huge selection this year, so you're definitely going to want to come and check those out. Brianna said, love all your top picks. Can't wait to visit this weekend. Brianna, we will see you this weekend. We're excited. We got a lot of work to do. Trust me, we're pretty close. We're pretty close, but we're not quite there. So we're going to get back to work. We've got a ton to do, and we're super excited. But it's going to be a fun weekend, and we hope that you come out, check us out, and then, like I mentioned, come and see us every week. The store is ever changing for the next 6 to 8 weeks. You will just be amazed. You'll have to come in and check us out. Also, what starts this weekend? Merry Money. So start collecting your Merry Money. You can collect Merry Money on all your purchases throughout this season. $1 for every $10 that you spend, and you can collect all of that, or you can use all of that Merry Money at the end of the season. But I think it's usually around mid-December is typically
Yes.
when we do that. So check out our website for any of those specific details that I can't keep in my brain.
And it is important to know if you're a past McDonald Garden Center member that Merry Money will be all collected on your Garden Rewards account.
Yep.
So if you're not already a Garden Rewards member, we definitely encourage you to be one,
Yep.
because you can get all our deals and all the sales and all the fun on our Garden Rewards, and we will be sending you vouchers in the mail to your address. Make sure your addresses are updated, and make sure that you're a Garden Rewards member to get that awesome Merry Money.
Awesome. Yep. And just a great benefit of being a customer here is the Garden Rewards membership. So you definitely want to sign up for that. If you're buying a Lifelike tree, that's how you get your warranty. There's so many different benefits to it. Great point. And Carly, I just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
This has been so much fun.
Thank you.
I think she'll have to come back for more. So maybe she'll be here making some bows for my wreaths. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you all have a great rest of your week, and we hope to see you all this weekend at our open house. Come and see us. We're going to get back to work. Bye, everybody.
Thanks.